All right. Where's the Audrey? Where is Audrey? Well, I don't know where my cat is, but we'll see what happens. All right, we're going to be working on some Dot Mandala mugs. I currently have 10 of them on the go right now, trying to make some inventory for the store that I sell them at. So we'll just keep working on these. Hi, David. How you doing? It's good to see ya. Oh, how's your day today? I went to Michael's today, and they were having a sale, 40% off. Hey, Patty. Michael's has a sale on right now, 40% off of Craft Smart multi-surface acrylic paints. So I got all of this for $20. So exciting. The whole reason I went were these two colors because I needed them for the mugs that I was working on, and I was running out of both of them. And then I came home with the rest of these. So I got 4 more greens. These two up top are actually different colors. This one is crisp green, and this one is spring leaf, so just a little bit different. I got some yellows. 3 different yellows. I got a plum because I love this color. And I got this one, cherry. Look at this. Lazy day, David. Look at that color. Oh, makes my cheeks pucker with sourness, right? Just from looking at it. Hey, Kim. And then all of their stuff was on sale, so I got some of their matte. It's a matte metallic. But look at that. You see the sparkle? So pretty. I figured that this would be a really nice color because I'd like to do some top dots on the mugs that I'm working on. Oh, and I got a silver. So yeah, I went and I spent some money, and I'm going to go back again tomorrow and spend some more. It's such a good deal, though. Such a good deal. So, I will milk it. How are you guys doing? How's everybody? Yes, we do need to talk about getting you some. We totally do. You let me know a budget, and we will make it work. Thanks, Kim. Hi, Beth. How you doing? All right. So this design is a wraparound design that I tried to kind of pull from this one. I'm not unhappy with them, but I'm not happy with them. I think they're going to turn out beautifully, and they're going to look great when they're done, but they are not going to turn out the way that I had pictured them in my head, because I had pictured them being a little bit more spread out, not quite so accordioned in so tight. And that is because I did every other space for these red dots. And what I would do now is I would, and I want to do a couple of them, I'm going to do them where this is every third dot, just to spread that out a little bit more. And that should give it a little bit more of the feel like that it's like strings of beaded garland hanging. Getting ready for work, Kim? I hope you have a really good day. I hope it goes by fast. Hey, Jennifer, how you doing, love? Gonna be using your mug stand. Hey, Godina Guapes is here. So if you are in need of a mug stand, she makes these. This is what I use now to paint my mugs. I can turn it anyway. I can change the angle of it so that I could have it sitting this way. This thing is the best thing that I have in my entire studio. Hey, got any guapes here and on Instagram, has them in her Etsy shop. And seriously, if you are interested in dot mandala painting and you already have discovered it and you know that you want to do a lot of painting on mugs, I promise you this is worth every single damn penny that you're going to spend it. Before she sent me this, I had gotten to the point where number one, I was wearing compression gloves most of the time. I was also wearing wrist guards because what I would have to do is I would have to hold the mug, right, at different awkward angles and try and steady it and then hold it still so that when I put pressure on it while I'm painting, it would be really hard on my wrist. So I was wearing wrist guards, like wrist supports. I was wearing compression gloves, and I was very, very, very close to saying, I guess I need to redesign my entire business because I can't paint mugs anymore. I was really close to having to stop doing them entirely. So, yeah, this thing is the best damn thing ever. Jennifer, I love it. You're my freaking hero. And yeah, you guys need one. If you want to paint a bunch of mugs, you will definitely thank yourself. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you for the love. Oh my God, Jennifer, seriously, you are why I am still able to paint mugs, because the solutions that I was going at wasn't working, and I certainly wasn't in any position to build anything like this. Like, I just wasn't. So you are my favorite rock star. I really wonder where my cat went. She's disappeared. Okay, I'm just going to turn my clock on so I can see. I do want to kind of give everybody the heads up that I'm very much in my head today. Everything's fine. There's just a lot of stuff going through my head. I'm sure you guys know what this is like too. So the reason I say that is that I anticipate that I will kind of sink into the painting a little bit more than I typically do. I might not talk quite as much. If you have questions, please let me know. And I will do my absolute best to answer them for you. While I'm painting, I will not be able to see your questions because I can't see the screen of my phone. So make sure that, just know that if you leave a question or comment and I don't answer it right away, I promise you I'm not ignoring you. I just literally can't see the screen on my phone. So, know that I will paint for a little bit and then I will pause and I will go through the comments and catch up on anything that I've missed. But it just might take me a little while before I get back there. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. And I hope that you guys are doing well. Please take care of yourselves too. You guys give me such a warm, open space to just be real with where I'm at. And again, everything's totally fine. I'm just mentally tired. And, I think I count myself as lucky in that we didn't have a super busy holiday weekend here too. It's a holiday. It was a holiday here in Canada. It was our Thanksgiving. We didn't have a super busy one. So I'm sure that everybody who did have really busy holidays this weekend, full of lots of family and lots and lots and lots of just everything. I'm sure that you are relating very easily and more so to what I'm saying. That it just gets tiring. You get to a point where you're like, I just need a few hours where I don't have to talk and nobody's gonna talk to me. So I'm gonna have a starburst and I'm gonna start painting, and then I'll pause and come back to the comments in a little bit. So yeah, if you're new, welcome. My name's Jamie. I'm a dot mandala artist. This is my full-time job. I'm currently working on a batch of 5 white mugs with this design and 5 black mugs with this design. So a total of 10 mugs that all have the wraparound designs. Right now it looks like a garter belt, and I really like that. I always wanted to do this as a tattoo. Pick one of these wraparound designs and get it done as a tattoo. And have it wrap around my leg like a garter belt. I think that would look like a garter. I think that would look really freaking cool. Anyways, so I'm doing a set of 10 of them. These 10, when they're finished, they will go up on my website for a week. They won't be ready to ship for a week because they sit and they air cure, and then I put them in the oven. But they will go up on my website for a week. Any that don't sell in that first week will be taken down, and then these mugs are going to the store that I'm selling them in out in the town where I used to live. So all that stuff is going to, all the stuff that I'm making for the store, I want to always give you guys first crack at it, however I can, as often as I can at least. So it'll kind of be, this stuff will be on the website for a week, and then whatever doesn't have a new home will go to the store. So that's kind of what I'm thinking anyway. Oh, it was so good to see you, Jennifer. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. Love you to pieces. Take care of yourself, okay? Can totally relate to that, right? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys who had busy Thanksgivings might be very tired. And it doesn't mean that we don't love it, and it doesn't mean that it's not fun, and it doesn't mean that it's not something that we look forward to and appreciate. We can still acknowledge that it tires us out. And that's if it went well. I know there's a lot of people out there who the holidays are a big source of anxiety for them. So if that is you, I'm sending you lots and lots of love, and I hope that you'll be able to take some breaths and try and help yourself recover from that a little bit, from that stress. And then I know there's other people out there that are like me and Mom, where it's just another day. We don't really do anything, and we kind of move on, right? Hi, Christine. How you doing, love? All right, I'm gonna sit and eat my starburst and start painting, and then when I'm not gonna sound like I'm talking with my mouth full too badly, I'll come back and check in. So if it takes a minute before I answer a comment or a question, please just bear with me. I'm doing good, honey. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing good. Glad you're doing all right. Ah! Okay. I love doing the same design on 2 different color mugs. Seeing how different they look. See, if these were spaced out a little further, not quite so packed in accordion and so quite so tight, there wouldn't be quite as much overlap. Son of a bitch. That's my fault. I switched out my attachment and I didn't secure it enough. Bear with me 1 second, you guys. That's better. That should be a little harder to move. You heard that too. I was lucky, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that one made my heart stop a little bit, not gonna lie. Christine, your mugs looks amazing. They all look fantastic. Why did I pull that one off? Who knows? Who knows why I do what I do? Let's just completely start over. Good. And onward and upward. Look at how easy that was. Good Lord. God, I like to make things difficult, don't I? Aw, hi Britt, how you doing? It's so good to see you. How are you? I've missed ya. Painting some mugs. I've got a batch of 10 that I'm painting with this design. Just another day in Oshawa. I'm glad you're able to pop in and hang out for a bit. What you been up to, Britt? It's new and exciting. Patty, David, have you guys done any painting lately? I bought Starburst for the first time in a long time the other day. And I have forgotten how much I enjoy them. I've been on this hunt for hard candy. And all I'm finding anywhere is like really sweet stuff like caramel and butter toffee and all of that sort of stuff. Even the Bulk Barn, I was thinking, if I could find the diabetic hard candies or something, that would be nice. a lot of just weird, a lot of peppermint, a lot of lemon, lime, but none of the good fruity colors that I would normally go for. And it got me thinking, do you guys remember Campinos? Do you remember those? They looked like they were in the same shape as a Werther's Original hard candy, and they were the different swirls of fruit. Do you guys remember that? Are the police coming for you? They're on their way. They found out. They finally found out. How you doing, Carolyn? It's good to see ya. Only you're Pennywise, thinking what to do next. That's exciting. Are you feeling good about how it's coming along? Nothing new and exciting, just living a slow life. Oh, that's kind of nice, eh? A slow life. Not a bad thing. A lot of good things to be said about that. It's nice to have those periods. Lets us plant our feet on the ground and build ourselves up a little bit, eh? Give ourselves some love. Good for you, Britt. Oh, Patty, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. Costco has great hard candy? Oh, I will definitely take a look then. You remember those, Jan? They were good. Oh, Kim, you're missing out. They were so good. Sitting in a parking lot waiting for the next appointment. Nothing new. Just killing time in between, eh? Well, I'm glad that you're here and we can help you kill some time, love. I'll go check out Costco, though. Thank you. Because I need something. That's for sure. How you doing, Jan? I didn't realize you were here. Yes! You didn't like them? Oh, my God. I didn't know that was possible. Oh, I love those things. But I get it. Yeah, they could be an acquired taste. They were very sweet. Very sweet. No, it was not. It wasn't a Canadian one, no. That would have been, what, when? 20 years ago, too? 15, 20 years ago? I think. I think. All right, we're going to start with some swoops. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to finish our walking dots. How about that? You're in bed with Patty? Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Jan. Sending you lots of love, too. I wish you two were at least together so you could be making each other laugh. Thank goodness for phones, though. The smooth dots, that really is all dependent on the paints. I'm using Craftsmart Multi-Surface, and this is just the way that they dry. Now, they are a little bit more watery, so what I do find I have to do is I have to turn them this way, watch the paint move, and then turn them this way. Because otherwise, let me see if I can get in nice and close here and show you what I mean. You see this little outline around the paint where this is where the paint kind of settled, right? So I'm constantly, when it settles down too far, I'm flipping the mug over if it settles up too high. I'm trying to see if there's one here that maybe looks, oh my God, Jamie, you moron. I just put my hand through wet walking dots while I was spinning that mug around. Okay. Well, we're going to keep going with the example. So, you see how when you look at the side, you can see that the swoops kind of start to pool at the bottom. They just have a little bit more paint down here than they do up here. That can happen with your dots as well. So you have to kind of keep flipping the mug back and forth, right side up, upside down, as it until it starts to dry. The other thing that you want to be super vigilant about to get the nice smooth dots, and I am not as vigilant as I would like, sometimes the paint helps you. Craft Smart's usually pretty good, is watch for bubbles. So if you have any, keep a really close eye on your paints as they're drying, and especially though when they're still really wet, to see if there are any bubbles that are coming out. That's going to make a big difference. Now, this is also going to be really important when it comes to curing your mugs. If you're going to be baking your mugs, you want to, oh, see, there's the spot right there. If you're going to be baking your mugs, you want to make sure that your paints are super, super dry before you put them in the oven. So, you know, some of them might say 72 hours, but with this huge thick amount of paint on all of these, I wait almost a full week before I bake them, just to be on the safe side. The devastating part can be when you bake them and there's bubbles. Oh my goodness, Kathy. No, no apologies. No apologies at all, Kathy. It was totally not your fault at all. At all. You're comfy in the bed. That's a good thing. Just found the candy on Amazon. Cream hard swirl candy. Is it ridiculously expensive now? I wonder. I used to be able to get it at the dollar store. All right, so I'm going to have to pull some of these off. And it's okay. It's totally okay. It's a very easy thing to fix. So I'm going to just start to go around with this little wood skewer. Just pull off the parts of the paint. Once the paint's dry, it's really easy to fix. So I'm going to pull this part off because it's super smudged, and it's probably going to just be easier to redo it, right? This other stuff here is the stuff that was dried from last night, so I don't really want to redo it if I don't have to. But if I do end up having to, it's not that big of a deal. The wood works really good on ceramics and glass for it, and because it acts very much like an eraser. But it's definitely worth the wait. Wait until the paint dries and is almost completely dry, and then the paint will just pick right off. So the curing process is what makes the paint permanent. So until it is cured, you technically will be able to remove the paint off the surface if you need to. It gets tougher after 24 to 48 hours. This paint will also air cure after 30 days. So it does get tougher. You need a little extra elbow grease. But there we go. Crisis averted. Oh, I had one little blip over here. So we're going to get rid of this dot. Easy little blip. See, it was an opportunity, Kathy. 100% opportunity to show what happens when I make a mistake. Never a bad thing. Yeah. Yeah, it works out pretty well. It works out pretty well most of the time. The worst thing that's ever going to happen is that I'm going to have to pull off a whole chunk of it, right? I've had stuff before where I've, smudged paint and I've taken off from like here to here the whole part of the design. It's okay. We can take our time. We can remove it. It's totally fine, and we'll come right back to it. Doesn't mean it doesn't piss us off when it happens, right? Like we have our reaction, but in the grand scheme of things, when that frustration hits, we really can remind ourselves that, you know what, there's very little that isn't fixable. If it's not fixable, it's not fixable. It's okay. Oh well, I get to paint some more and do it again, right? Try to get back to the joy of that, to give yourself a little bit of slack when it comes to that stuff, eh? Cream savers. Oh my God, that's right. Talk to the Dollar Tree manager, see if they'll order some for you. That's a good idea. Thank you. Campinos were the yogurt based. Ah. You've been Googling too. Didn't have the patience for it. And that is such a wonderful thing to recognize right out of the gate, right? Because that means it's just not that enjoyable to you. Right? Because if it was really enjoyable, you wouldn't have to find the patience for it. Right? It wouldn't matter. You would do whatever you needed to do to get back to it. And how amazing to be able to just try a whole bunch of things like that. That's so amazing that you tried it so you could learn that about it and about yourself. I love that. Love that, Vicky. Cream savers are good too. Moved on to earrings. Oh, that's very nice. Are you doing polymer clay? Are you painting? What you doing? Do you post your stuff? I have crafting ADD. And you know what? It's so funny, because in this business, they're always talking about you have to find your niche. You have to find your niche. I think that's bullshit. I think that creating is a niche. And some of the most successful people that I have seen on Instagram and YouTube are the people who they do as a bunch of different things, and they share the process along the way, right? Like, of course, the super narrow niches, of course, that's valuable, and you can get a lot of valuable information. But if that doesn't match who you are, right? You gotta do that. Ooh, fun, polymer clay. I used to do polymer clay, and it's so fun. Trying to find the confidence. Oh, Vicky. Oh, you totally should. Do it. Don't undersell yourself. Know what your costs are. Look at your competition that would be on the Etsy's or whatever other sites you might do. Don't undercut yourself on what you're pricing. You are not trying to sell to you. I heard this from an artist the other day, and it was so wonderfully said. And she said, it was Josie Lewis. She said, I would price my art because I would look at something and say, okay, according to my calculations, I should be pricing that at $1,000. Oh, but I'd never pay $1,000 for that. She said, it's because I shouldn't be trying to sell. I'm not trying to sell my art to me. Right? I want collectors. And that really hit with me. Okay, cool. I'm excited. Viclay here on TikTok or on Instagram as well. Cool. Polymer clay is so fun. Do it. That was such a good point, though, We're not looking to sell to us. And maybe we are, but understand who it is that you actually want to sell to. And where is the value in what you're creating? Right? If you're spending 50 hours on something, you got to be able to make sure that you're paying yourself accordingly, right? And that's a hard thing to do. It's a really tough part of all of this. If you give everything a try and try as best as you can to let go of the outcome, right? If you're like, I'm trying to start a side business so that I can quit my full-time job, that's putting an awful lot of pressure on the side business, right? I'm doing it because it's something I love and I want to be able to sell some of this stuff so that I can buy more supplies and make more. If you make that the goal and just settle into that goal, and I just want to keep doing it because I just want to keep doing it, that is what's going to have a huge impact. And I'm trying to listen to myself as I say this stuff out loud. I need to practice what I preach, but it's true. Yeah, not selling to ourselves, right? Start working on your Etsy shop. Fantastic. No, and I totally get that feeling. I did the same, and I'm still trying to recover from that. I'm still trying to recover from what and grow from where I started. Your experience has nothing to do with it. Being a new shop has nothing to do with it. Look at the quality of your items compared to what you see in other competitors. Look at the competition. Look at the other sellers that are selling things that are similar to yours. Focus on your SEO, getting your product descriptions all good, and your tags and your titles and all of the stuff that goes with Etsy. But look at the comparisons and see where your product lines up with the other products that are out there, and help that with use that to help you with your pricing. Even if it can just give you some averages, right? Oh, right, David. It's so hard to increase later. I have built my entire business with my products being a certain price, and now I'm looking going, oh my God, no wonder. No wonder I'm not pulling in the dollar value that I'd like. And I've had to shift a lot of my business away from the hand-painted stuff and try and get into more of the patterns and the images and the stickers and all of that sort of stuff to try and help bring in some of the income, because I've priced myself so low for the hand-painted stuff that it's a hole that I'm trying to dig myself out of now. And I feel like I've built the ladder out of the hole, and I just got to start carrying all the shit out of the hole with me. But it's a big process. Definitely do that. I'm glad that it's helped. Oh, I'm so glad, Vicky. Cobalt blue gesso. Who do you think you are, Donna? Will you post a picture for us in the group? I just put a large ceramic bowl with water in it outside my window. Oh my God, Jan. Are they bathing right outside your window? Oh my God. That's perfect, Vicky. Yes, you do your quality control. You have your packaging ready to go. Really spend some time on your store, on your product listings. Devour that content. I'm sure you've already started devouring that content, talking about successful Etsy listings and all of that sort of stuff. And price according to your competition. Find other people that you think you are, again, doesn't matter if you have only been doing this 6 months, if you've been doing it 5 years, doesn't matter. Look at the quality of the product that's being produced. If you're doing jewelry, what are the metals that are being used? Are there the competition going to tarnish, or yours not going to tarnish, or how do you want to market that, and how do you want to use that? Okay. Hi, Manad. How you doing? This is my cup holder, Cadu. It sure is. This is where my friend Jennifer made this, so I can put my mugs on this and I can paint. I love this thing. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I want to see this cobalt blue gesso. Yep, got that right. We'll be confident for you, Vicky. Do it. Oh my God, Jan, that must be amazing. Okay, so have a look at packaging. See if you can, if there's things that you can find that's going to work for that for you, so that if you did get an order, how would you ship it? That will be the biggest stressor for you. I buy still a lot of my shipping stuff at dollar stores, simply because I'm not at a point where I can, buy large amounts of other stuff in bulk, right? So don't feel that your stuff has to be perfect. Figure out what works for you. Dollar stores are great places to find really cute little paper and the gauze tie string gift bags. Look on Pinterest for what kind of jewelry are you selling? Is it earrings or necklaces? What are you selling, Vicky? Oh, thank you, Kathy. Oh, Manon, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sending you so much love. Is there anything we can do for you? And I'm doing okay, honey. Thank you. Okay, so your earrings, you have a whole world of possibilities that you could wrap them up in, right? Just some tissue. I think the biggest thing, you can get poly mailers. Small stuff is really hard to find. So you want to look at what you want for your envelopes or your poly mailers or your bubble envelopes or something like that. I used to get mine on Amazon. So do some postage estimates and figure out how you want to send it. And see if you can get away with regular postage on any of them as well, right? Oh, I'm so sorry, Manon. I'm sending you so much love. They have orange, green, yellow, carmine, metallic. What? Where the hell did you find this? Yeah, what is it? What is it? Yes, perfect, Vicky. Yes. Use every one of those resources. That's awesome. Yeah. Find out what your best option is, and know for sure what your tracked package and your untracked is, right? Because you want to be able to make sure that when you're setting up your shop, as best as you can let customers know. So you either need to work your cost of shipping into the price of your product. Etsy likes that. Don't fall for it. You decide, right? Don't do it just because Etsy likes it and will promote your stuff if you have free shipping. Don't worry about that. You decide which is more or which is the least stressful on you. I personally found it really stressful having to mark up the price of my item just to cover the cost of shipping anyway. To me, it felt sneaky and transparent because it's not free shipping. You're still paying for shipping. It's just covered in the cost of the item now, right? So like if shipping is $16 and you're buying a $42 mug, then I'm charging $58 for it. Right? Just so that it can have that free shipping tag. I would much rather keep that separate because I don't have the mental energy to calculate it all the time. And for me, and only again from my perspective as a customer, for me, I like to know upfront because we all know that we're paying for shipping anyway. We're never getting free shipping, right? It's just a matter of how it's worked in there. Blick Art Supply, damn. I keep hearing about that site, Donna, and it sounds like a place to spend a shit ton of money. Yeah, it feels sneaky, right? Because then you're going into, in my previous life, I was a consultant, and one of the things that I did is I helped people. I helped with people who work at car dealerships, the people who call you and remind you for service. And let me tell you, the people who followed my training had higher customer ratings, had more sales, and had happier employees because they didn't feel like they were pushing. Because in my head, it's all about how can I let you know up front? I don't want to put something out there that causes you to ask questions or throw criticisms only so that I have to explain or defend myself. I'd much rather have it all out there, right? Like, I would hate to have somebody come to me and say, who do you think you are charging $58 for a mug? And then I'd have to go back and say, well, that's because there's free shipping and the cost of shipping is rolled into the item. And like, there's enough of that. There's enough of those demands for explanations as to why we do things already. For me, that works well. Now, if I'm not getting any traffic and I need to do something to try and get my stuff in front of more people, maybe I'd reconsider it. I can't say yes or no because there's benefits to both. So just trust what feels the best for you. Well, and that's the thing. So like I used to always say to them, I said, if you call a customer and say, I'm calling because your vehicle is due for maintenance, and you give no explanation, they're just going to say, no, it's not, and they're going to call you later, right? And I said, there's certain steps that you can take when you go through these conversations. But there's things you can put up front to the customer that will actually increase your chances of bringing them in rather than decrease, right? And it's all about honesty now because the landscape has changed. People don't want to be sold anymore. People can see right through that, right? What can you do to make my life easier? That's the key in almost every business. How can you make my life easier? Sometimes easier means cheaper. Sometimes easier means faster. Sometimes easier means I'll pay extra money. I just need to not have to do any of it. It's figuring out what you want from each person, right? So you can think of that as well with your designs and with your earrings. Looking at not only while you're looking at your pricing of your competitors, you're looking at how they do their descriptions, what is their return policy, making sure that you're staying on par with what's already there, but also looking at, is that how I would handle that situation if it happened to me? It can give you a lot of hypotheticals to kind of go through to help you figure out your core values of your brand, right? There's so much to that, so much to dig in with that. All right, let's do some more painting. Actually, before we do that, I need to draw some guidelines. So I've got a chalk marker that I'm gonna use. I have a Lazy Susan where I'm going to set the mug. So I'm gonna set the mug here. I want to kind of figure out where I want that line. And let's see. So what I typically do is I just stand the mug there and then I get a bunch of blocks, a bunch of stuff that's sitting around, maybe a book. Try and figure out where this line needs to go. No, that's too high. What if I did it up here like this? No, that's too low. What if we do up here like that? Oh, that might be close. Let's do the oh hoo hoo. I need to build a new shelf for paints. Nope, that's too high. So I just start looking around literally randomly for what can I set this on to help me draw a guideline. We'll go from there. You're most welcome, Vicky. I hope it was helpful. I kind of threw a lot of that at you, and I apologize for that, but I hope that it was helpful. There's so many mistakes that I've made while I've been running my business, and certainly when I started, that I'm still trying to recover from. So if there's anything that I can offer that might help to make that a little bit easier for you to get through, then I'm happy to do it. Happy to do it. No. So that's way too low. What else do I have that I can set this on? How about you? That's too high. Are you square? Yes, you are. Okay. What else do I have sitting around here that I can use? I'll be back. Ooh. I have more wood blocks. Okay. So we're just going to add one at a time until this gets to the height that I want it at. I think that's good. Oh shit. So what happened there, why that screwed up for me, was that I tilted it back. The mug got tilted a little bit. Perfect world scenario, you don't want to have to hold it, right? So you know what I'm going to do is I am going to grab this and we're going to try this one. So I need to get this here. So flipping it over, just put it on a more solid base, right? And then now I have my line. Ding. This is much more complicated than it also probably needs to be. However, this is just the way it is. So, here we go. Okay. If I do that, I also have to move this. That's the hard part. If I just leave this here and turn it, when it gets out to here, I have to move the pen because otherwise if I keep turning, it's going to tip it that way, unfortunately. So I have to keep my hand there to keep it steady. It's a pain. Hi, Christy. How you doing, love? Call it DF saver because that's what I say when I drop things. It's a really good idea. Yeah, I totally know what you were saying though, but unfortunately, if I wasn't holding on to this mug, that would go kaplooey. Dun, dun. just messed up. I just pushed on that one. It's crazy too how just a little bit of a push I'm good. I got new paint last weekend. Oh, that's so lovely. Yay. Hooray for dopamine. That's wonderful. Love hearing that. What you been making? One thing to keep an eye on if you're using chalk markers or chalk pens on mugs, when you go to remove that chalk, if you just use like a damp cloth or something, it's going to look immediately like you have removed that chalk. And then about 10 minutes later when you come back, there's going to be chalk smears all over your surface. So kind of keep that in mind, that it's going to take a couple of rounds with a damp cloth or with your wet cotton swab, or even the isopropyl alcohol usually cuts through it pretty good and doesn't smudge it and spread it around too bad. But you want to make sure your paint is really good and dry if you go the isopropyl alcohol route, because you don't want it to strip off the paint. So this guideline is to give me an indication of where I'm going to put these green clusters. So where this guideline is going to be where the peak of the next set of these golden garlands, I guess you could call them. This is where the peak of the next one's going to be. Now the next one's going to be spaced out a little bit more. I'm not going to do a green cluster in every single one. I'm actually going to modify the pattern just a little bit. This is going to be a downloadable pattern as well. Hopefully by the end of this week. I'm hoping by the end of this week I have 2 new patterns to release in my shop. And oh, what a cluster. That's a big mess right there. I'm going to have 2 new patterns by the end of this week. And the other thing that's going to be in my shop this week, end of this week, is tickets for the next ornament and mug painting parties. The next one is going to be a mug painting party, I believe, next weekend. That last white one wasn't finished on the last row, wasn't it? Let's see. Oh, I see it. Yep, I see the walking dots not done on this one. Okay, thanks, Manon. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Sue. We've been on for about an hour. Do I seal the Christmas ornaments? No, I have never found a varnish that I was able to use that didn't make everything go all cloudy and sticky and gross. I use multi-surface acrylic paints and allow them to air cure for 30 days. which would be the equivalent of baking them, which is supposed to make them the equivalent of top shelf dishwasher safe. So that should be plenty strong enough to keep the paint on the ornament. So multi-surface acrylic paints, enamels, glass paints, anything like that would be suitable to let cure and not have to seal. So I found this one. I think this is the one. We'll go through them. If I come across another one that doesn't have it done, then we'll finish it up before we jump in there. It'll be fine. Alright, so I need to turn this way. A friend of mine has brought me 29. That's so nice. That was the one. Okay, good, but not good. We're there. That is such a nice gift, Sue. That's lovely. How nice. I'm going to have a big yawn and I'm going to have a big drink of my Diet Pepsi and then we will continue on. All right, here we go. So after this, we are going to start doing some swoops. So the way that I do this when I'm doing multiple items all at the same time is that, so I did, for example, all of this red row, then I did all of this green row on all 10 mugs. So I did 10 red rows, 10 green rows, 10 red rows, 10 gold rows of swoops, 10 for all of it. It felt like it was very slow at the beginning, but it feels like it's really starting to pick up now and go a lot faster. Trouble is choosing what colors. That's always the hard part, eh? It's so hard when there's so many beautiful different colors. I was saying to my mom today, I need to come up with a spreadsheet where I can track the paints that I have, like so that I know what paints I have at home and be able to flag it somehow, like when a certain color gets down to less than half the bottle, that I can go into the spreadsheet and mark it in a color. And then the next time I go to the store, I can see which colors, do I even have the color? And if I have it, am I using it? Like to be able to track how many bottles of the color have I gone through since I started tracking. Like I think of the pink tourmaline and I'm like, I'm always going to go through that. I'm always going to need 2 or 3 bottles of that on hand, right? The brand of paint, I prefer Craft Smart for the multi-surface right now. I've used Folk Art multi-surface, but found them very, very thick. And they tend to bubble a lot. It takes a lot longer for them to dry before putting them in the oven. Martha Stewart, I know that they're not being actively manufactured right now, but if you ever get your hands on any multi-surface Martha Stewart acrylic paints, they're pretty fantastic. But I love the Craft Smart multi-surface. If you're in Canada, I was at my Michael's this morning and all of the Craft Smart multi-surface were on sale for 40% off. Like it was crazy. I got so many bottles of paint for $20. Even their big, large 8-ounce bottles, you can get them for 40% off right now. It was Jennifer. I've got it written down, actually. Here we go, if you want to take a screenshot. So if you find Hey Got Any Grapes on Instagram, I believe she might have it here on TikTok as well. I don't know if she has her Etsy link in her bio, but I know it's there on Instagram for sure. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, that might help. You're on your way to Michael's now? Happy shopping. So they have a lot of really, really, really fun colors. Yeah, I just bought all of this stuff. Not those two. I just bought those ones. And I love them. I love them, love them, love them. They make me happy. But we're back to Christmas colors. You're welcome, Cindy. All right, so we're going to start with a dark green. I'm going to start with some dark green swoops. Now, am I? No, I didn't want to do that. Crap. Okay. All right. That's what we're going to do. I have a spreadsheet with all the colors I have and they correspond with the numbers on the bottle. That's friggin' brilliant, Sue. That's absolutely brilliant. Yes, I want to do something like that. All right, so the issue that I just went through in my head was if I want these ones, if I want these gold walking dots to be more spread out like this, my initial thought was do green swoops here, right? Skip this one, do green swoops here, but then that would mean those would be coming down into this middle here as well. Now I could do that. But I'm afraid that it's going to contrast with this. Like, I'm afraid that this coming down in here like this is going to be too close to here and start to look muddy. So that's a concern. Now, the other option that I just am thinking of is I could do green swoops here, and then these guys could start to come down. I think I need to draw it out. I think maybe that's the problem. I need to draw it out, and I need to not knock over anything else. All right, so what if I That's how you know, Sue, using my own words. Using my own words with me. Just try it. You can always change it, right? I love you so much. All right, so if I do I think that would look all right, eh? I think that'll look okay. Yep, that's gonna look okay. All right. I like the drawing out too. That lets me cheat. So let's get rid of these. I don't need these. You could leave them on there if you wanted to. If you ever want to draw it out and kind of create your own stencil, go for it. For sure. You guys already know how I feel about stencils now that we've been playing with stencils lately. Okay, let's try again. So we are going to flip this back up so that this sits like so. Straighten it out. You've almost finished your coasters. Fantastic. Are you happy with them? I'm excited to see them. All right. They're coming again. You're doing your first market. Amazing, Elise. That's so exciting. Have you figured out all the different stuff you're going to take with you? Are you sitting? How are you doing with getting inventory ready? That's so exciting. Congratulations. That's fun. So these are going to sit to dry before I go in and do the next color, because these are going to be 3 color swoop clusters. We're going to have the dark green in the middle, and then on either side we'll start building out that cluster, and it will be the lighter greens. But we're going to let this dry as much as possible before jumping in to do that. So this one is now going to get put over here. Ding. Oh, there. And we'll grab the next one and do all of the dark green ones there. Really helped with your swoops. Oh, fantastic. Fingers hurt from crocheting, so now you're doing some painting. Or you just got to switch back and forth, back and forth. That's exciting. I'm excited for you. Keep us posted with how it goes, eh? So how long do you have left until the date? I got to sign up for some pop-ups at the store that I'm at. I don't know how many to do. I did set a goal for myself for yesterday to try and get all 10 of these mugs done. And it was an absolute fucking gong show. So they did not get done yesterday. But it's so hard to be able to predict how much you're going to be able to have. How much can you have done? And then know, well, how many markets can I apply to, right? But 3 weeks, fantastic. Oh, so excited for you. Definitely keep us posted with how you make out. I'll be here to cheer you on. I am such a creature of habit, building these swoops on the end of a peak instead of in the space between the two, it's mentally fucking with me. For sure. I'm feeling very comfortable with the curse words today, obviously. Am I swearing more than normal? That was satisfying. Let me zoom in. Sorry, you guys. Oh, Elise, you're so welcome. You're amazing too. Hi, Kevin. I'm doing good. How are you? Let's zoom in. I gotta get closer for these swoops. So my hope is, right, so we're going to zoom out. This mug is going to go over here. I turn it right side up so that the paint, because it is going to naturally pull down, gravity's going to pull that down. I'm okay with the bottoms of those swoops being a little bulgy. So then we'll grab this dude and go here. Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. I'm glad you like them. Oh my God, I haven't sneezed yet. Is it going to happen now? Is my body going to react? No, my body's going to yawn. Okay. My body's going to yawn. That's okay. There's still time, right? God, how's work done? Fantastic. Well done. Well done. Feels nice to get stuff done and then be able to have the rest of your day to do your thing, eh? All right, I'm going to eat another candy, which means I'm not going to be able to talk for a few minutes. So I'm going to do that, and then I will come back and check in. But let's do some swoops. All right, and now we do a half cluster. Now, it might cause anxiety for you to have the design look different on either side of the handle. Like that lack of symmetry there. It might be something that stands out to you. Okay? If it does, that's okay. If that becomes a concern, my biggest recommendation would be figure out how your spacing is set up. That always goes back to your very first line. Right? The first line is your foundation row. This is what's going to impact the spacing for the entire rest of the piece. If you kind of have to play around with some math too and figure out, if I go down a size, I'm going to get more dots in. How far are they spaced away? And you'll get into routines of what you know will work all the way around. Use those. Use those to help you create the symmetry that you want to see. And for the other stuff, try not to stress too much. You're a procrastinator. I feel that. Nope, these are not going to be trees. These are just going to be just little clusters. They're just normal swoop clusters, just upside down. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Bert. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for the roses. Oh, Tash. How you doing? I love you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, so now I'm going to set that one aside. And we're just going to keep going through them all until we get them all done. I did do one that had trees on it last year. It also had snowmen on it. That mug is actually going to be the mug for the next mug painting party. So that'll be fun. I loved that design. So for the next mug painting party, we are going to walk through that as a pattern. And those ones definitely have trees. I think there's a lot of fun colors, and I think you can make some really pretty green, blue, and white trees to make them look all covered in ice. I think there's some potential there for some real fun. Hey Sharon, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Ooh, that's exciting. You're missing painting though. Well, it and we will be here when things slow down for you. That's wonderful that you're nice and busy. I hope you're able to squeeze in some painting time for yourself though. It was so fun to watch how much you enjoy it. All you guys. I love when you guys are posting and are just, you can tell that you're just having so much fun and you're so proud of the work that you've done, and it's so fun. Just like when you guys send me pictures of what you've painted. I freaking love it. All right. That's number 4. And with any luck, after all of these swoops get done, the very first mug should be a lot closer to dry, so I should be safe to go in and do the next swoops then. I think these mugs are going to have a really nice texture. Like when I run my fingers over this feels really nice. This is going to be a nice one. A nice one in the hand. I find a lot of the bubbles with the Craft Smart paint tend to work themselves out as the paint is drying too. I think it's because the paint isn't quite so thick. So if you've been used to really thick multi-surface acrylic paints like the Folk Art, the Craft Smart might feel very watery and very uncomfortable for you. So just kind of keep that in mind and give yourself some time to get used to it. Because your paint is going to move differently. The tool sizes that you need to use are going to be different. Because your paint is going to pool out from the tool. It's going to spread different. So take your time if you're using thinner paints. Enamel and glass paints are even thinner. So just kind of prepare yourself for that, okay? Bird, I make it look so easy. Practice, practice, practice. The key is figuring out if you enjoy it, right? Because if you enjoy it, you will make time to practice. Because you'll just want to do it all the time because it's just so much fun. You'll find ways to sneak in extra bits of time doing the thing that you enjoy so much. And that's why, you know, anytime somebody says, you know, oh, you must be so patient. No, I just really enjoy it. And if I didn't really enjoy it, then yes, I would have to manufacture patience for this, right? It gets easier the more you do it. So the first thing is just figuring out if you enjoy it. It is a skill, not an inborn talent, to be able to do this. Anybody can learn it. But if it's not fun for you, you're not going to want to learn it, right? And you're not going to want to put in the practice. But if it's fun, God, getting me to do much else other than paint is a struggle. Everything is, what do I need to get done so that I can just go paint? But that's how you know. And it's not a bad filter to kind of keep as part of the awareness of it all, I think. And the more time we can spend doing the things that we really, really love and enjoy, I think the healthier we'll be, the happier we'll be, all of that stuff. Holding your breath every time I swoop. I get that. It's pretty satisfying, isn't it? Everything about having two swoops that are perfectly in line with each other feels so incredibly foreign and uncomfortable to me. It's slow going. Thank goodness it's so relaxing. So I'm batch painting to try and build my inventory. I'm painting 10 of these mugs all at the same time. 5 of them are white mugs with this design, and 5 of them are black mugs with this design. Once they're all painted, they will go up in my shop, but they're only going to be there for about a week. After that, any mugs that are, any of these that are up on my website that haven't sold by the end of that week are going to go out to, I have my stuff in a store in a local town. So then it'll move from my website to the inventory at the store. I don't like not putting them online. I want you guys to have first crack at them before they go to the store. So that's kind of what I've come up with for now. So these will go up later this week. I didn't make the cup holder. No, my friend Jennifer did. If you go to Instagram, you can take a screenshot of this. Her name is Jennifer, and she has the mug stands in her Etsy shop. Best thing ever. Am I pushing down when you swoop? Like, am I pushing into the mug? Not hard. Not hard at all. Let me show you with a pencil. Hang on a sec. I'm keeping contact with the surface, but I'm not pushing down hard. Let me show you. Hold on a sec. Okay, so if I'm not making any contact with the surface at all, my swoop is going to be about that long. So that was no contact with the surface, just paint and then touch the surface and then moving my tool without touching my tool to the surface at all. Okay, super, super short and tiny swoops, right? So I put my pencil down as if I'm going to write very lightly with a pencil. And then that's the same pressure that I apply all the way down. Does that help, love? Oh no, you lost connection. Oh, David, I'm sorry. That's rotten. We're just plugging away, getting started on some big green swoops. Does that make sense, Tash? You're welcome, Bert. Oh, good. I'm glad it helps. Good, good, good. Hooray! All right, let's bring the mug back in. And we are going to zoom out just a tad. I don't typically plan my designs to make everything work out evenly, but when they do all on their own, it's incredibly satisfying. Good. I'm glad, love. Good, good. Keep me posted with whatever other questions you have. I'll do my best to help you. Okay. Just gotta fix my cloth here. And all right, so that is number 6. Number 7. Here we go. Now the procrastinator has to finish his dove carving. It was wonderful to have you here, Kevin. Thanks for coming to hang out. Break is done. I don't want to go. I will be there on Instagram Friday night, love. And any questions come up, shoot me a message, okay? Paint is your tough part. Yeah, it's tough. Isn't it crazy? It's so interesting, eh? Like it just, how it all comes together and how it all, I don't know. It's pretty fun to watch, eh, Karen? Take care of yourself, Kevin. It was good to see you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You too, Tash. How you feeling, Patty? You doing okay? Jan, how are you feeling? Sharon, how are you? I'm glad you were able to stop by. So these swoop clusters are going to have 3 different colors of green. We're doing the dark in the middle, and then we're moving out to the lightest green. So I've got 2 other greens mixed up. And we're going to put some red in between as well. I'm going to try and stay true to the other patterns. So once we do these green, we'll go through and do the red that I'm talking about here, and then that will probably bring us to, if not right to the end of our time, but pretty darn close. So we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking on all of the red dots, I've got that beautiful new red metallic. I was thinking about putting that on top of all of the red. I'm also thinking of just putting another color of regular red and not doing the metallic on there and letting gold be the only metallic. Not quite sure yet. Not quite sure. There's a part of me that wants to put a darker red on it. I think that would look really pretty. So I might do that. For a top dot, I mean, sorry. The green's gonna get top dots, hopefully. And then the red will get a little bit. So I'm starting to experiment more with top dots again, but I feel like I've got a better system going on. Okay. It's figuring out where to put them. You're tired. I can't even imagine, Sharon. Sending you lots and lots of love. I hope you guys feel better. Metallic could be cool, eh? So I've got, and this is the metallic that I have. Let's, just for shits and giggles, let's see how this looks. Like, it's a very subtle, bright one. That one actually would probably be perfect. Let's try one. Don't tell anybody. You saw nothing. Ooh, yep, that's gonna work well. Hey, David. Super subtle. Super duper subtle, eh? Look how great that's gonna be. That's going to be cool. Maybe that's all I do, and maybe I do metallic green on top of the green, and I don't bother doing color grade top dots. Maybe it's just the metallic on top. That's kind of cool. 3.5. Let's see. Let's see how this one looks. There we go. We'll see how those dry. Good call, David. Good call. And I have a mess to be cleaned up. It's going to be a rough cleanup. Oh, Jan, I hope you feel better soon. I hope you guys do. How do I decide what design I want to do? That's a really good question. I try to figure out, well, there's a bunch of things that kind of go into it. When it comes to just deciding which one, okay, I just did a whole bunch of dots, so now I'll do some walking dots, or now I'll do some swoops. That comes from my natural tendency to want to alternate things. So if I have lines of dots, swoops, and walking dots, then in my head I'm like, do the lines of dots, then do a swoop, and then do some walking dots, and then do a line of dots, and then do some swoops, and then do a walking dots. Like I like the repetitive part of that. That being said, sometimes you get a lot of inspiration from a lot of other artists and looking at mandalas as well. What are a lot of the common progressions? How do they typically start? And I think once you start painting with some patterns or modeling off other designs, you start to just kind of, you almost get to the point where you think, okay, well, there's really only 3 key elements, right? There's swoops, there's walking dots, and there's dots that are all the same size, right? Same kind of thing, like I said, that I alternate between the 3. Now, once you kind of have it there where it's like, okay, there's 3 main elements here, then it's a matter of what order can I put those elements in, and how can I combine them to make new designs. And sometimes it's a matter of just what I'm used to because of what I've been creating in recently. Like when I've been doing a lot of swoops recently, then you see a lot of swoops in everything that I'm doing, not just in the mugs. I don't know if that answers your question or not. Let me know if that answers your question. That was for M. Clark. Oh, sinuses are the worst. It's such a bad time of year for it, too. Pretty, eh, Karen? Thanks, David. It is satisfying, again, to just look over here and see all of them sitting here. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see them all sitting here like a little army. I've had some really weird songs in my head over the last couple of days. Do you guys ever get that? Like, I can't even tell you when the last time I heard the song was. Not used to having to exercise those muscles, Sharon. It does. Oh, good. I'm glad that it helps. You're most welcome. Please don't hesitate to ask questions if you have any, okay? If you're new to my lives, my name is Jamie. And all of the links for all of the stuff is in my bio. Got a YouTube channel, has over 100 videos on it, recordings of previous lives just like this one. But there's also a playlist called tutorials, and there are 35 free video tutorials, and they're long. They're like 2-hour tutorials, go through a project kind of, or at least get the project started kind of idea. So if that's helpful for you at all, know that that resource is there. All the links for that stuff is through my bio, where you can buy my hand-painted stuff, getting to my tutorials. I will be launching a Patreon, which will give access to patterns and Zoom workshops. It's actually going to be the only place that the paint parties are available. On a regular basis anyway. Don't want to strain yourself. Oh, you too, Patty, with the sinuses. We are, honeys. How you doing, love? It's good to see ya. We are. I got into a store. It's a Maker's Market store. It's one of the stores where I pay rent for a shelf and then they sell my stuff, right? And I moved in last Thursday, and I'm primarily selling mugs there. So it is time to stock up on the Christmas. So I am doing 10 of these mugs. Let's show ya. They're all sitting here. Cool. I love this. Love that. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of red. Yeah, that metallic red is going to be perfect, David. I'm glad you said that. It's going to look awesome. I'm not on Etsy, but my website is linked through my bio. I need to get on Etsy. I want to get my patterns and stuff on Etsy soon. Gots to do that. All right, so now I'm going to do red, and I'm going to do... What size are we going to do? We're going to do size 3. So we're going to go through and do all of these little red ones. We might be able to get all of these done in the next 10 minutes with the red dots. So then I'm going to be doing some more painting this afternoon, and then these mugs should be fully completed with the exception of top dots not being on there, and then they will get set aside for at least a week to air dry, and then at that point I will take one of them and do a test baking to make sure that it doesn't bubble like crazy and go from there. Hey, Christine. I do, so my Mug Care cards, I print them at Vistaprint. I buy their postcards, and I usually buy, at first I did the 6x9" postcard and then doubled the design. So I created a design for the front and a design for the back. So on every 6x9 postcard, I'd get 2. I'm actually bumping that down now to 5x7 because I had a lot of packages that the big Mug Care card was just too big for. And it was the same size as my thank you cards too. So and it'll save a little bit of money to get a slightly smaller one. So keep an eye on Vistaprint. Sign up for Vistaprint to get their messages when things are on sale, because they quite often have really good sales on that sort of stuff. So I designed my logo and everything in Procreate, but you could also use the free version of Canva if you are familiar. That you would very easily be able to create your own image, so to have your own logo with it if you want to, or just to make your mug care cards in the size that you want them to. I hope that helps. If you're going to be painting this afternoon, anyway, why don't I do a silent live? Because I might. I will see. I can't tell you I will for sure because I have no idea for sure what time I'm going to be back, but I totally could give it a try. I just hadn't thought about going live. Honestly, one of the reasons why I haven't done that yet and why I haven't at this particular point is I'm at a point where I need to be able to listen to what I want while I'm working. And if I'm live, I can't. I can't listen to my music, and I can't listen to any of the things that I listen to, because then when I go to put that video on YouTube, I wouldn't be able to. Now, maybe those ones don't get posted on YouTube and that's the way around it, but I'd only be able to ever do that on TikTok because I think it's the only one that doesn't give me copyright violations for what I'm listening to in the background. Thanks, Fly Girl. Vistaprint. It's usually here in less than 2 weeks. The design site, so Canva, you can get a free account for Canva. Procreate is like an Illustrator. I think you'd probably be better with Canva. Try that one first. Procreate, if you have an Apple Pencil and an iPad, that's what you really need because it's one you can actually draw in and do all of that. Well, that's a good idea. All right, well, we'll give it a try. We'll see how it works. I will double check with Mom to make sure that she doesn't have any issues with that later today, and I will try to come back in the next couple hours. But it will be very impromptu, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I can totally do that. Give it a shot. I want to try, they've got a new streaming studio. But I think I have to use it on a computer, and that's fucking waste of time for me. I got to look at it. But there might be ways that I can actually put something in the frame to say, I'm not answering questions. This is a silent live. I can't. So, but if not, if you guys don't mind kind of doing that, and I'll put it in my product title. And if anybody's asking questions or anything like that, then we'll just let people know that they can message me. You're welcome, Christine. Awesome, thank you. All right, we'll give it a shot. So this is a mug stand that my friend Jennifer built for me. And if you want one, take a screenshot. This is her Instagram name. And it's available in her Etsy shop. Yeah, you don't want to stay here. She's just a bitch. Just keep moving. You promise you don't want to be here. No, that's totally true. I appreciate that. And yeah, just tell people to message me, I guess, otherwise, right? So yeah, I will give it a shot because I do want to finish these mugs today. I really do need to look into the streaming studio and see how I would do that. So when you're streaming on your Mac, it's like I would be looking into the screen, but I think that there's another program that I could have my phone and then you. So imagine if I was a Zoom and I was on a Zoom, right, and I was looking into the camera, you would be able to potentially have a split screen, one half being the mug that I'm painting, the other half being the split screen, and I would look up and actually look at the screen to read comments and then go back to my painting and be able to do that. I really need to do that. The ornament is the one that I'm trying to kind of create this design with. So the part that I kind of ran into was that when I was creating these lines that look like the nice garlands, when I was doing it on the mug, these red dots, I should have done them in every third space instead of every other, because these just look like petals and peaks. They don't look like nice big rounded lines like those kind of things, right? So on the next set of these that I do, I will put those red dots every 3 spaces and see how that looks to compare. And I think that'll make a big difference and make it look a little bit more similar to that design, which was the intent in the beginning. All right. All right, so let's start the long goodbye. I will come back on and try and do a silent live. We'll see how that goes a little later today. It's going to be a couple hours from now. I haven't eaten anything yet today. I have a bunch of stuff I need to do around the house as well, around the apartment and to get done. So it'll be a couple hours. It's not likely going to be too early. But we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. And yeah, I'll try to learn that other program too, because that might make a difference and make the silent lives even easier. Okay. I totally just realized why my initial gut reaction was not to do it or to think of why I couldn't do it. And that's because I hate spontaneity. I hate it. I hate last minute changes to the plans in my day. I do all of that. That's so interesting. That's something to sit with. That is really something to sit with. The artist who hates spontaneity. I do, though. I like it when I'm in control of it. Last minute changes to schedules and last minute changes to what I've mentally prepared myself for the day. That's what did it. That was the kicker. That's so interesting. Very interesting. Learn something new about myself almost every day nowadays, it feels like. Do you guys find that too? Do you find that as you're getting older, your level of self-awareness is much bigger, and like it doesn't stress me out anymore? I used to be like, oh my God, look at that. This is a part of who I am, and this is a part of my character, and this is so this is so stressful, and I would try to fix it. Now it's just like, that's interesting. Wonder what that's about. And then I just kind of sit with it. It's like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, that's interesting. Now I always wondered what that was, where that came from and all of that. Do you guys find that too as you get older? I'm glad that it happens. I feel like I know myself a hell of a lot more than I ever used to. And I also have the perspective of, Jesus, I was so rigid in everything that I did. right? No, it's totally okay. It's totally good. It's so valuable, Jan. It's so valuable. There's so much information in it for me. One of the things that I've been struggling with a lot recently is I know what my boundaries are, but I don't communicate them. And that one threw me because I thought I knew what my boundaries were. I didn't know what that one was. And I didn't make sense. I'm like, why do you not want to do this? Like, why is it? And the only reason that my brain gave me for an answer to that question was that it was a surprise. That's the only reason that my brain gave me, was because it was a surprise. So I'm grateful. I'm incredibly grateful because it's important information for me. Because there's the options, right? It's like, okay, so I don't like being surprised. So the only two things that I can do are either A, try to figure out how to keep surprise from happening, which we know is absolutely impossible, or it's to continue to work to be a little bit more stable on my own feet so that if and when surprises do pop up, I can weather them a little bit easier. Do you know what I mean? So it's incredibly valuable information. Long goodbye to everyone. Lots of love, Sharon. So no, Jan, it is funny. It is interesting. It's always interesting, eh? All right, you guys. I have one more of these to do, so 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to sign off for now, and we shall see. I am not making a hardcore promise that I will be back on here. Okay? I can't do that until I've talked to Mom. But if I can, I will be. Know that it just won't be for a couple more hours. It's just going to be a matter of when that happens. It's different. I know Mom won't come and ask me for help if I'm on a live, so I have to have a big conversation with her to make sure that it's going to be okay. So I will take care of all of that. Hopefully I will see you guys in a couple hours, and we'll keep working on the mugs, and we'll give the Silent Live a try. Thanks for coming and hanging out, you guys. Lots of love to you. That Silent Live will be here on TikTok. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll try and put a post up somewhere else if just to kind of let people know that it's happening over here. Lots of love, you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Jan, Sharon, Patty, please take care of yourselves. Sending you lots of love, and to all of you guys. Manon, love ya. See you soon. Mwah. Bye.